Hey guys! Did you
Callie's
miss me?
back. Hey guys, John P. from GeekBeat TV.
Callie Lewis from GeekBeat TV. And this is CE Week TV, powered by GeekBeat.
Can we work in a few more TV?
GeekBeat TVs?
I don't know.
Something.
Anyway,
So,
we are happy to have our next guest on. Bob is actually from OwnerIQ.
Yes. Bob, what is OwnerIQ exactly?
We like to call ourselves a path-to-purchase media company. So that probably doesn't mean anything.
Explain that to me, because that
Let's see,
sounds
if we get down and dirty
impressive.
into it, what does that mean?
So it's an ad tech company doing retargeting online, but we have some very unique elements that none of our competitors do. So you're probably familiar when you go and you're shopping, you're looking at a particular product, you leave a site, you're then on another site, and suddenly products, like you looked at shoes, suddenly shoe ads start popping up, and you know why that happens, right? Because it's
a cookie.
GeekBeat TV.
A
Cookies,
cookie.
yes.
Right.
Cookies.
They got me with a cookie.
Cookies are
Amazon
pixels.
does it a lot.
Amazon
Is it chocolate chip?
Yeah, it's not chocolate chip, but it involves computer chips. Like, some ways. But so the cookie is actually traveling with you, and actually the kind of the thoughts about cookies I think have changed in the last few years, where people were a little concerned about them. You know, the company's following me, but actually, you know, when you go to the grocery store and you use a loyalty card, the same thing is happening when you're buying products, because they're looking at the purchases that you made and then sending you ads in the mail, the paper way, based on what you purchased. So this has been going on for years, just a digital version of that. So the cookie travels with you, and you get an ad served up to you based on your interests, things that you've looked at in the past. So we do that. We're what's called a DSP, a digital service provider, and a DMP, a digital media platform, digital service platform, digital media provider. And what that means is that we collect data based on the relationships that we have with 350, 400 websites, where we actually grab cookies or place cookies and grab information about shopping behaviors of over 200 million consumers every month. A lot of consumers, right?
Wow.
So, and we have unique relationships with a lot of the nation's top retailers and manufacturers, and they benefit on sharing their data. Either they're compensated for it or they're driving sell-through at their store. The thing that we do that's, I think, very different is that we kind of sit in between the retailer and the manufacturer, especially in the consumer electronics space. This is like our sweet spot. Because people shop online, they usually go first to like Google or to Bing. That 60% of them go to, I'm sorry, 62% of them go to a search site. But right after that, 60% of the people go to a manufacturer site to research, and 57% of them go to a retailer. So
I do that. I know, like I might do a search.
You go to all of them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I do a search for like a pencil, you know, and it always comes back with a lot of I will call it salesy related listings, right? Anybody who's selling it like comes up, but I'm looking for like this pencil thing is made by 53. I'd be looking for the URL that says 53. I want to go see it from their site.
Yep.
What do they say about it? And then after that, then I'm ready. Then I'll start looking about buying.
It's very
it.
typical. I know. I worked at Sharp Electronics for many years, and we challenged our ad agencies to tell us what the path to purchase looks like. And they came back with like this spider web. They said there's no linear way people go to shop, but they all go to search. They all go to majority manufacturer. They all go to retailer.
Makes
so
sense.
we thought, what if we place ourselves right in between the retailer and the manufacturer, and set up a system where they can share each other's data about the information of people who've been to their site. Now, we're not collecting any personal information. We're only collecting information about where that person went.
You just know they went there.
Exactly, and where they went after they left
so
that
if
site.
I went to 53's website, you might cookie me, and then when I go to a retailer, you might say, oh, we know this guy was researching these pencil things over on 53 site, and then they could maybe somehow tailor their offering, like help me find a pencil a little easier on their site or something.
And a lot of companies do that. I think we go a little further, where if you're on 53, so let's say they're a partner, and we take a pixel. Now, let's say you're a retailer like H.H. Gregg in Indianapolis, who's trying to sell you the 53 pencil. Then they come to us and say, find us only people who have been to the 53 site and looked at this pencil. That's where we come in. That's very different.
Now,
can that be translated into the mobile space? So, like, if I've got my app going or location on maps or whatever, and I'm walking by a Best Buy or any kind of retailer that would sell that pen that I've looked for, can I get an alert?
That's coming.
Is that coming? Okay.
Yeah, so that's the next step. And really the kind of the platform is knowing where people looked at online. The next level, and we'll probably have something by the end of the year, is now being
Location
mobile.
awareness.
Where were they when they saw it? But it's unique because you're actually now, as a retailer, speaking just to people who have physically looked at, not physically, they've looked at that product online.
They've intentionally.
Yeah, and there's information from Forrester that says that people that shop on a manufacturer's site, 50% of them buy within 21 days. So they're active shoppers and they're looking, especially CE, because they do a lot of research on consumer electronics.
Yeah.
So we're very unique in that we give people the ability to target really interested people in products, and that's where programmatic comes in, right?
Yeah.
That kind of word has been thrown around a lot, and I'll explain it briefly. So a lot of people don't know when you're, and you guys probably know, but a lot of people don't know when you hit enter, you're going to Yahoo Finance, and that page is loading. A lot of those ads that are surrounding your content have not been sold yet to an advertiser.
Yeah.
And that's where we come in. An ad exchange contacts us and says, hey, there's a customer going to Yahoo Finance. There's an open ad that's this size. Do you want to buy it? And then we bid on it, just like everyone else. Probably all these companies are bidding. That's the programmatic real-time bidding process. And we bid based on what we know about that person that's going to that site. So we might know, oh, this guy's been to 53 site, and he's a shopper of X retailer. And that retailer's interested, and he lives near that retailer, and that retailer wants to advertise to him. So we're going to pay $1.80 for that ad.
And also, by the way, while we're at it, he happened to be on the Maserati site.
Exactly.
And so we can extrapolate that this guy's probably, maybe he's wealthy and he's on Yahoo Finance, so he's probably checking stocks and everything. And that gives you more demographics to then make decisions and say, you know what, this is worth spending a little more money because I wasn't just on Nickelodeon's website.
Exactly right.
Now, this idea scares a lot of consumers, right? When you hear it in person, it scares a lot of people, but in
from
reality,
a privacy perspective and things like that,
in reality and in practice, it's actually very beneficial as long as that information isn't sold elsewhere or used in
abused.
So all of our data is first party. We get it right from the website. We never sell any of our data, and it's really not data, meaning there's no personal information. It's a consumer.
It's a profile.
It's a profile based on it's a shopper who has been to a number of sites, and based on that interaction with those brands is interesting to a particular advertiser.
Yeah.
And then when we bid, we usually bid higher than our competitors because we know more about where they've been. And then we win the bid, and all that whole process that I just explained takes 2/100ths of a second.
That's amazing.
So, and it happens all over those websites. Every time you're changing website, all those ads are populating.
Bang, bang, bang.
And it's all real-time bidding. It's all done by robots. They're back there,
Did you hear that?
You like robots.
They're all done by robots.
Right.
So I think for there are some people who might, you're right, get into, there might be a philosophical argument about, we're being tracked too much and there's too much, invasion of privacy and this and that. I think that everyone has the ability to opt out of this. You turn off cookies.
Yep.
But B, your life would suck if you did it, because all of these things, you don't even think it's one of these areas where you just take for granted what's appearing on web pages and what's happening while you're moving around.
I literally don't want an ad targeted, or that's not targeted at me. Like if
Yeah,
I'm
it's
going
changed,
to
right?
actually pay attention to an ad or a sales pitch or whatever, I want it to be targeted because I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, and I think that attitude only in the last, I say even year, has changed a lot, where people say, you know what, it's nice that these ads are relevant to me, that I'm not getting, a monster truck ad when I don't like to drive monster trucks.
I like monster trucks.
Well, you might, then you would get a monster truck ad.
I think John,
therefore I would get a monster truck ad.
I think what you have to take out of this is that you just have to be careful what you search for.
Exactly.
Oh.
Or who you let on your computer, because sometimes my kids go on my Mac, and I come back and I'm getting all
You're getting
wait,
weird ads.
what did I search for?
Shoes and handbags and things.
I don't have to be careful what I search for, because if I search for that and I get an ad for that, I wanted it.
Okay, fair enough.
Man knows what he likes.
That's right. I have no shame. There's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, the attitudes have changed, and people really are starting to appreciate it. And you're right, you can eliminate your cookies. I just had to do that last week because I was at an airport and they changed their Wi-Fi, and for whatever reason they said you got to get rid of your cookies, right? I hadn't done that in a while, so I got rid of my cookies. The next day I'm on MapQuest. I type in, all my addresses are gone.
Yeah, you're having to type everything in. You're having to, I mean, it's a pain.
The
start
work
over. Everything, or your passwords are gone.
Yeah.
So there's some benefit there. So yeah, we've been doing this now for, we started in 2006, so this is our 8th year of doing this. But this whole idea of vendor-targeted marketing and retailer-targeted marketing, where we sit in the middle and let retailers and manufacturers share each other's web audience, relatively new, only within like a year and a half. And a lot of great partners in the CE space, both on the manufacturer side as well as on the retailer side.
So speaking of which, where can people learn more if they want to get engaged with you guys?
You just go to OwnerIQ.com.
Easy enough.
Right? Just like the sound, no space in the middle, OwnerIQ.com.
OwnerIQ.
And there's basically 3 products that we sell, and they're laid out separately, and you can check them out.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Bob, for
Thanks for
letting
having me.
us
This is great.
Get a little bit glimpse into that.
That's right. Appreciate it.
Thanks
and
very
you
much.
guys, thanks for sticking around, watching this continuing coverage at CE Week. I'm John P.
I'm Callie Lewis. Be sure to check out more at geekbeat.tv/CE Week.
And thumbs up on YouTube.
So if you got them.
Bye.